Today I'm going to be going over 25 different items I sold online for big profits. All these items sold on eBay. If you sell on eBay regularly, if you're a newer seller, these are items you can look for out in the wild. These can be found at garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, or even your own home. Make sure you stay tuned to the end so you guys don't miss out on any of these items. Let's get started. This first one right here is a Sony CCD TRV-15 Handycam. This did not come with the battery and it sold for $99.99 full price. Most of these Handycams are pretty resistant. Most of the time I've encountered them, they mostly work. If these end up working, they could be some pretty good money. Just make sure you look at the model number, which is in the bottom, to make sure it's a good one, because there's some that are actually not worth that much, but there's some that are crazy amount. Bolo right here, an item that probably most people would not pick up because it's a regular DVD. Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea DVD set with Pikachu's Island Adventure sold for $31.99 full price, and like I said, it was open, didn't even have the insert, and it came with just two discs. That's pretty good money for a DVD, especially used. Got it at a thrift store for I believe $3 or $4. Video game sale, of course, if you price it right. This one right here sold for $104.99. Original Xbox console with cables and controllers. Typically, whenever I see an original Xbox, I pick it up if it's cheap enough. Usually I'll pay up to $30, $40, just depending on if they work. If they don't know if it works, I'll probably pay like $20. Just because, I mean, you never know. Most of the issues you run into these is door opening, but I actually have a workaround for that now. So the only reason that I would not be able to fix it is if it was the laser. At the thrift store, I saw this hanging on the side of the rack, and I was surprised no one picked it up. Helly Hansen's Salt Inshore Jacket Men's M sold for $89.99 full price. Keep in mind, this is not new with tags. This is pre-owned, and it sold for that much. This was like a special edition one or something like that. I'm not really sure. I didn't do that much research on it, but I knew it was exclusive, so very, very good. And if you see anything that's a collab for clothing, it's usually pretty good, so make sure you look it up if you're able to find it. Another pretty good camera right here is Sony Handycam DCR TRV-103, sold for $199.99 full price. Very happy with this one as well. At the swap meet, I have a contact that knows I'm looking for cameras, so whenever he has something new, he calls me over when I'm there. He typically wants about $40 to $50 per camera, so very happy with this one, and I'm definitely looking for more handy cams in the future.
Hello, I like money.
This one's been sitting for a while. This was I actually took it to a convention a couple times, but it never sold over there, so I decided to sell it online. Sold for $129.99. Very happy with that. I believe I had about $30, $40 into the Xbox. This one right here was a Scorpio edition, Project Scorpio, so that's why I got a little bit more. Typically, normally you can get like $80 or so if it was not a special edition. This was another bolo right here, the NIV Ministries Bible Black Hendrickson Bible, genuine leather, sold for $75. This was part of a garage sale buy where I bought a 3DS and a bunch of other stuff. Paid I think $30 for it, or $50, I can't remember, but this Bible basically got my money back in the profit. Just a single Bible, which is amazing. That was a very, very good find. The 3DS, I believe I sold at a convention already as well, so it was overall a very good garage sale find. Bibles are huge money depending on which ones you find. I always look them up now, no matter what, just to see what they're worth, especially if they're leather bound. Typically the leather bounds are the ones you want to look for, but big money can be made with Bibles. Another bolo item right here. A lot of people might just look at this and go, what the heck is that? Right? This Samsung TV One Connect box sold for $85. Basically the Samsung TV that uses this, if you do not have this box, you cannot use your TV. So that's why this is so expensive. Normally it's basically a dongle. If you're a video game seller, you know the dongles usually sell for more, and this one, of course, no exception. So the Samsung One Connect, I'm always looking for these now. They are pretty good money, very easy to list and ship as well. So keep an eye out for these. This is what the bottom looks like. The very simple design. Many people will just disregard that, say like $1 or $5. So keep an eye out for those. This one right here was a long time coming. This Toys R Us Employee Excellence Award statue Joffrey sold for $175. So I had this listed to the moon because I saw a sold comp on the research tab on eBay, sold for like $400. Looks like that was a one-off thing because mine was listed for almost over a year. So what I did was I ended that listing and relisted it, and as soon as I did that, as soon as I sold similar, someone sent me a message and said, is your price negotiable? I said, yes, if reasonable, and they shot me $175. I saw before I accepted the offer that they were selling for around that price nowadays, so I decided to go ahead and do it. I only had like $20-30 into this trophy, so that was a very good flip from that. Very cool nostalgic piece for sure. If you see these trophies out there, pick them up because they're good money. Another Bible here. This is the Ryrie Study Bible, expanded edition, sold for $25. So I sent out offers, they accepted. Pretty good leather bound right here. Ryrie Study Bible. I think I had, this was a throw in with the other Bible as well. So, I mean, this is just profit from that.
I gotta have more. I gotta have more.
So a lot of people ignore Skylanders. I am no exception. Normally I ignore them. Now I know to look for these little portals here, creation crystals. These are good money. If you can get a bunch of them all together, they're worth some serious money. So what I did was I determined where the figures were from. I had a bunch of figures, and these were all Imaginators, so I threw the figures in with this and sold it for $29.99. Actually sold pretty quickly, so very happy with that. Skylanders are money, you just have to know which ones sell for a lot. These crystals right here definitely sell, so keep those in mind when you see them out there. Underrated pickup here. Oh my, I'm so glad I almost left this guy at the garage sale. So I went to this guy's garage sale, and I had been there last year. He asked a lot of money for his video game stuff, but since they were high quality, I decided to buy it last year. This year I went back to his sale and he had more video game stuff for me, but he also had some cooler stuff. He had a Chucky, which I actually sold at a convention for $75, I believe, and then this guy sold for $200 on eBay, and it's basically R.L. Stine Goosebumps Slappy Dummy Ventriloquist Doll, 30 inches, pretty big dummy, and very, very happy with the sale. I believe I paid $200 for everything there. This gets my money back for the most part. Chucky, between him and Chucky, and the video game stuff is all profit, which was pretty good. And it did have some scuffs. It wasn't perfect, but still, $199.99. I cannot complain. Bolo for board shorts right here. Hurley Phantom JJF3 Nebulous Space board shorts sold for a full price of $39.99. You might be saying, why did these sell for a lot? This is a collaboration piece, and they're a little bit different. The all-over print is definitely a nice touch, but these felt different, higher quality. So I knew when I picked them up they were going to be good, and I only paid $5 for these at the thrift store. So board shorts, a lot of people ignore. I'm telling you, there's money to be made in board shorts. You just have to know which ones to pick up, but if you pick up the right ones, you can make some serious money. This is another one from the train buy. This one I didn't get as much for. I only got $70 for this LGB G Scale 211. Now keep in mind, these were untested. Had these been tested, I would have got way more. I just didn't have the means to test them, but I'm very happy with this one. And keep an eye out for LGB scale trains, especially the G scale. Those do very, very well. Another pretty good clothing flip here. This Dixon flannel Hawaiian shirt, 2XL. Sold for $35, so I sent out offers, they accepted. Dixon is something to keep an eye out for, especially flannels. Flannels do really good, but shirts like this also do pretty good as long as they have a decent pattern on them. This camera right here, you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Now the only problem with this is a film camera. Those for me are a little bit more difficult to test, so I sold this as untested, and I accepted an offer of $85. Now, if this was tested 100% and fully functional, this could be like a $300 camera. But I did not have the means. It was sitting for over a year in my death pile, so I just decided to list it and get it out of my life. But I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out for these. I think I paid $60 to $70 for this, so definitely didn't make that much money on it. But I just wanted to get my money back for it and make a little bit of profit. So happy with that. And I've learned a new camera brand to look out for, Rolly. This was a throw-in at a garage, so I think I bought an Xbox 360 and a lot of other stuff at the sale. And this was just part of it. I think I paid $50 for everything, and these sold for $50. Considering they were a throw-in atop of video game stuff and other stuff like that, this was a pretty good flip. And these were pretty beat. I'm not gonna lie, they had a lot of wear to them, so I was very surprised that they sold for that much. I think the bag that it came with definitely helped. Without the bag, maybe I wouldn't have got that much, but happy overall with this one. Prada, of course, is a high-end brand that a lot of people know that sell for a lot of money. Obviously a no-brainer to pick up. Just be careful because there's a lot of fakes. Of course, another video game item that sold pretty quickly. This PS2 console right here with memory cards and 2 games sold for $84.99 full price. As you can see, this one had a little wear on the front. The disc drive front door was missing, and I still got that much. I ran into a lot of PS2s with that I have a bunch of different problems, like they're colorblind or there's issues with the disc tray. So coming into one that doesn't have issues is kind of rare for me, so I was happy to get another PS2 on for sale. Here's another bolo. This Element X Bam Margera grunge t-shirt sold for $75. They sent me an offer and I accepted. This one right here is new with tags. I saw it sold comps of I think a little bit of like 50, 60 plus for used. So this one was new with tags, so I knew I was gonna get a little bit more, and I did. I bought years ago at a Paxson liquidation sale. They had a bunch of shoes and stuff and t-shirts for sale, and this was just a part of it. I think I had like 10, maybe $5 to $10 into it. Here's another item you should be keeping an eye out for, especially if you see 360s often. Genuine Microsoft 500 gigabyte hard drive sold for $35. Xboxes are very common. So if you see them, look in the bottom, and if they have the 500 gigabyte hard drive, it's worth picking up for sure if you see it.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Another good clothing item flip here, this Monster Energy hoodie, men's L black sweater, sold for $39.99. This has that grunge style that a lot of people are into nowadays. The size wasn't that great, but Monster Energy I always pick up especially if it looks grungy like this. This was definitely a task. This off-white pink global warming blossom hoodie, men's, sold for $139.99. Now this sold twice. The first time I had it listed as a medium based off the measurements, and the person got it and they said they didn't fit. They returned it. Of course, I was a little bit worried when they returned it because, I mean, there are such things as scams. But I got it back. It was fine. I relisted as a small. Sold. Buyer has left a positive feedback, so I guess it was a small, even though my measurements said it was a medium. But yeah, the label for the size was off. But this is faked a lot as well, so that's another thing where if you see off-white, definitely pick it up. But be careful because there's a lot of fakes. Hopefully yours has a size if you end up finding it, because this was definitely a chore. But very happy overall that to get $139.99 for it. I think I had like 10 to 20 bucks at the swap meet. Another pretty good pickup here is the vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! Stacks Collector's Album and Magnetic Board with Panini magnets, sold for $45. So I had it listed and I knew very little about this. It was part of that Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game I did last summer. And I mean, I've been in the profit. This was just more in the profit. I just had them listed. They were in my death pile for the longest time, so I decided just to put them on the table and list them as is, and I ended up getting $45 for it, so very happy with that. Another train thing here, this LGB 4026 Beck Spear refrigerator car sold for $53. Very happy with that. The only thing annoying about this was very big, so it's pretty difficult to pack. I think I had $20 into it, so not the greatest flip, but if you haven't seen from this video, LGB is a good thing to look for, especially G scale, so keep an eye out for anything LGB G scale. And the last one right here is Skylanders Supercharger 6 vehicles set right here, and they sold for $25.99. So again, I got a bunch of Skylanders at a garage sale. Portals, got the ones you saw prior. I got these. Ended up doing pretty well on Skylanders, so don't sleep on Skylanders. A lot of people just ignore it and leave it there because they think it's worthless. A lot of this stuff can be worthless, but if you know what to look for, it can be worth some money. So $25.99, pretty good.
Money!
Anyways guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought about my sales. Have you guys sold any of these items before? Also, what's been selling for you? Like always, remember to comment, like, and subscribe for more videos, and we'll see what I find next. Thanks guys.